Yeah, here we are, Art Story with Weirdo. And man, thank you so much for letting us come in here and hang out with you.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Man, good. So I just wanted to kind of, look, what we like to do is trace things back to the beginning, man. Can you talk a little bit about how you got started? Like, what was your first experience making art and stuff, and how you kind of got influenced and stuff?
How I started was basically kind of drawing, and mostly drawing, really, like crayons and shit like that. But as a kid, my mom would buy like coloring books or like little sketch pads, whatever the hell. And like from there on, like just continued that. I don't know. I just really liked at one point. I really liked drawing like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, stuff like that. Like, then once I started drawing that stuff, then I was like, okay, well, I can kind of make my own stuff or imagine my own things. Like I started realizing, I can actually just imagine what it looks like and draw it. And if I didn't know what it looked like, then I would grab a book and be like, what's this bird look like, or whatever. But that's how I started. Art-wise, I don't think that was like, I don't know. I think like for the examples, like it was something that I got, and then I was like, I really like doing this, and just continued doing it.
Nice, man. So. And your folks, I guess, kind of supported you and stuff. You had like,
towards the beginning. I mean, I guess as a kid, they supported me when I started turning into a teen, like when I was 18, stuff like that. And they kind of didn't understand why, like what's like. What they would tell me was, there's no future in, like, there's no career in art. Like, like you think you're gonna be painting for the rest of your life or whatever, or something like that. And it's like, I mean, I would hope so, right? Like, I would hope so. I mean, if you don't think that I can be able to do it, then for sure. Like, I understand. As a parent, it might be like, I can understand why they were like, like, that's probably not gonna work for you, and it's gonna suck because you're gonna think that you're gonna do that shit for the rest of your life. And
struggling artist.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it was more their worry than not believing in me. Yeah, I think once they started seeing some of the things that I could accomplish, in the sense that it's like, well, people actually take my artwork seriously. They really like it, or they're kind of curious to see what I do or whatever the fuck. Like, once they started seeing that, they're like, well, like, go ahead, like, by all means, do, like, go all in.
And you were getting gigs and stuff at that time too, like, or like kind of like.
That's like towards the end of like 2019. Yeah. 2018. Like, that's when I started getting like actual gigs. Like, because like my first paint job was like $200, bro.
What was that for?
For a mural.
No way.
Yeah, and it was like $200 if you really think about it. It's like nothing. You not even paint is $200.
Right.
You know
Time.
what I'm saying?
Put all that shit together.
Yeah. So I was like there. It was a learning experience.
What was the project?
Damn, it's funny. It's like, it was this project in North Miami called Las Vegas Burgers Bar. And what's funny is that mural now, they changed the owner, and that owner had kind of contacted me to get the mural done, and they completely just stole my idea.
No way.
And just painted the shit. And I mean, I tried to look into it legally, but not worth it, really.
Wait, was it the one with that lady? Like that lady?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's whack because I told them that, and then they were like, well, you could just talk to our legal department, whatever.
It's hard to put a copyright on a mural, I guess, right?
Yeah,
like,
and
but
that's
I mean,
the thing. It's like, because I even told them, like, it's like an original design in the sense that I elaborated the concept, and not only that, but painted the previous one that existed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's kind of
if you guys didn't hire me to do that, but still took my idea, it's fucking whack.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, that was my first mural. That was the first mural I made that I got paid for.
Yeah.
Because I did a mural at Churchill's, but it was free.
Yeah.
Like, it was just out of
in the back patio?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like I've seen that. Yeah.
Black and white one. It was, at that point, I did it all in brush because I wasn't even trying to deal with the line work.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was just a learning experience. $200 is like, I look back at it, I'm like, man, that's fucking crazy. Honestly.
Damn, man.
Why would I even think that was enough money?
Long ass time ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, 20
it's crazy when you think about it.
5 years ago.
Yeah, but and then you transitioned to doing murals and stuff like that. Like, how did you get into that? Like, and was it like, did you start with spray paint or Or how would you say?
Well, I mean, I started drawing, so I started with pencils.
Right. To conceptualize that.
Yeah, and then I like started picking up acrylics. Spray paint I picked up like around 2012. That was like when I first started like fuck around with spray paint. And maybe even before that, I think. Honestly, I think one of the first times with my cousin that I grabbed the spray can at his house.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let's walk around the block real quick. We're like, go paint something. We ended up painting like one of his neighbor's houses on the back. Bro, and like the next day, I guess the neighbor literally saw us and went and told his mom like, yo, like, we saw your kids. They were walking, painted our fence.
You had to paint that over, like.
No.
They busted.
Yeah, they busted, but the thing is like I even then like I didn't even care. I was like, oh, they found out, great.
And I
like,
think he. I'm so sorry. I think he did the take the power back. You wrote something like that. It was like take the power back. It was like a Rage Against the Machines reference, which I thought it was funny. Yeah, it was me and my brother and him.
Get out.
Yeah.
And he just break everything.
So that's interesting, man. But would you say that definitely music influences your work? Sometimes you're listening to music when you're painting and stuff.
I mean, I guess music influences in a way, but
Kind of fuels your.
yeah, because I mean, well, it's funny to think about it now, the way that you bring it up, because it's like now I'm influenced by the music because I'm thinking about it in a way where it's like, oh, how can I use this as a reel, or oh, how can I make this a post? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I mean, music, I mean, in general is good, right? You fuck with music, you like good music, and you know what good music is, right? So, but for example, now that I'm painting and shit, it's like I'm thinking, oh shit, like this song sounds kind of cool. Maybe it has some nice transition points here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, does it influence my work? Yeah, I think so to a certain level, because it's like, your work will be a product of whatever is surrounding you at the moment. So it's like if you're listening to a certain kind of music, you know, you might feel some kind of way and might end up painting different colors that you don't normally paint. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it does influence you, but I wouldn't say that it specifically influences my work. But I like listening to different kinds of music. And while I'm painting, I don't really listen to music. If I'm doing like a street spot or something like that, like. But if I'm painting a mural, maybe, yeah. I've always like having the speaker there, making sure that I'm vibing, you know, like, because I don't know. There's nothing wrong with silence, but I don't know, you know, you just want to get in the mood.
Yeah, I understand that. And so from the early days of painting, I remember seeing you at Wynwood. This is where I first heard about you.
Okay.
I don't know, what that must have been 2017 or something like that. 2016.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was
Wynwood
painting
Life.
live in the
yeah,
for one of those Wynwood Life. Yeah,
Wynwood Life. Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So
and you were using cans then, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. At that point, yeah, I had already kind of not completely learned how to use the can, but it's like I was learning. I felt more comfortable, and it kind of helped because the thing is with live painting, the whole brush acrylic shit kind of like, it's not it, because I don't know, you just have to do a lot of other shit, mix cups with clean brushes while you're fucking painting. It's like, nah, bro, like spray paint, you just grab the can, it's already there. You wanted it to look a little bit blended, you could do it immediately. Like, you don't have to sit there and smoothly, gradually do it. I mean, obviously you can take your time with it, but the whole point is to get it done in time.
Yeah.
You only have like 3 to 4 hours to do it.
It kind of looks better, like, for the audience. I don't know, it's kind of cooler to see someone working with cans, because it just seems like everyone that does live painting nowadays is with a paintbrush. You know what I'm saying? It's
that's
more
what
interesting.
I was saying. I'm like, it kind of. I guess for them, they find it interesting because they're like, oh shit, with the can, I can't even do a straight line or whatever the fuck they say. But I think for the most part, yeah, it creates like a show aspect to it. Like, oh, look at him. You know what I'm saying?
And when did you come up with your tag name? Like,
in 2012.
Yeah.
I was trying to, cause I was already writing other things, but like for example, I was writing Rage in the beginning of high school, like in 2012, but I didn't even know that there was already a Rage in Miami, you know. And I ended up meeting him later up in life, and I was like, oh, you know what? I used to write your name, like thinking that I was the only one until I, found about you online. And but then I had to start looking for another name. I was like, all right, I can't write that. What am I gonna write? You know. So, just like chilling with my brother-in-law's brother. I was chilling with him in my room, and I was just like, bro, I need to come up with a name. You know, something that I can push that not only like shows what I am, but also shows to other people like, oh, this is what I'm with. Like I'm with the weirdo, you know, with all this weird shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where weirdo came from. Where it's like, you know, how do you make something yours? You know? So I was like, well, make it two E's instead of E and I, and that's it. You know, just to come up with that name, and then I was like, well, this is the brand now. Like this is the thing that I was looking for. So. And that's how it came up with that.
Yeah. Are you affiliated with a crew as well? Like, can you talk about that at all? Or?
I'm affiliated with 3 crews, VCR, KYS, and 347. And what there are just really friend groups. It's not, you know. It's like, for example, it's like they're friend groups where we all like to do the same thing, but we all do different things as well. Like we're not all just graffiti writers all the time, and yeah, some of them don't write anymore. Some of my friends don't paint anymore, but basically just being a part of that crew is like, oh, that's who my friend group is, you know.
You recently put a video up, or one of your guys did, where you hit a building. Where was that? It was like an abandoned.
So that's like a school that's in Coconut Grove.
Yeah. That looked like fun.
Yeah, it was dope. I mean, it was a cool spot, but apparently it's been abandoned already for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's been painted or not before, but when we got there, it was pretty empty. But there was some dudes in there. There was people getting up. And yeah, that spot was dope. That spot was because it was like, it's in an area where people really think it's not graffiti friendly, because it's fucking the high end side of town. And it's funny because then you walk a few blocks down and it's like the hood,
right?
You know? So whatever.
And yeah, I like that. That was a good edit too. That came out nice.
Oh, the video?
Yeah,
man. Yep.
And man, can you talk a little bit about the Vitas building, like what that experience was like, and how you got in there, and like, I don't know, whatever you can tell me about it. Like, I'd love to hear.
I mean, shit, the way that I see it is like, the homies from KYS were here in town actually, and so they were like, yo, we're trying to paint, we're trying to do something, blah blah blah. I was like, look, man, you guys want to kick it? I'm like, look, we can go to this event that I'm trying to go to, and then we'll see what's up, right? So there was this event going on at Lot 11, and it was like this. Funny enough, it was like a wrestling competition, like a match.
Mud wrestling, or just
no, like actual legit Japanese wrestling.
What?
Yeah, it was funny.
On the concrete? Nah.
They had a stage.
Okay.
They had it all decked out. But what I'm saying is, like, I would have never imagined to go to a skate park to watch a wrestling match. So I was like, yo, this is cool as fuck. So we pulled up. Tickets were like $60, right?
What?
And my homies were like, nah, fuck that. We're not about to pay $60. I was like, yo, it's kind of worth it though. It's like a whole wrestling match. I mean, you gotta pay somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and it's pretty dope, bro, to be honest. So whatever, we're there, we're like politicking in the front, figuring out where we're gonna go. And then I'm like, hey, yo, like, I was like, yo, like, let's go paint that building. I'm like, let's go paint that building that's, we had seen the MSKs posted.
Oh, okay.
You know,
so it already been hit. Like,
yeah, like the front side of it. The front side, I mean, Atomic had already hit it, like, before all of us, like 2 months, I think, before everybody did. But the MSKs had hit the front side, and so when we seen that, I was like, yo, we definitely have to get in there. We have to go paint a spot, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, like, we can just go do that meanwhile, and then, you know, come back, and maybe they'll let us in for a lower price or whatever the fuck, because it's like probably gonna almost finish by the time we're out.
Yeah.
So I tell him, like, yeah, dude, like, let's go check it out. I was like, let's go see if we can get inside. So whatever, we all got it together. We went like 2 vehicles or 3 vehicles. And then fucking we pulled up, whatever, we just like, yo, there's a way in. We kind of saw it last time, walked around, there's like 2 different doors or 3 different entry holes, whatever. Turns out it was way easier to get inside than what we fucking thought. So yeah, we ended up there, painted the spot.
Man, you had to come prepared though, like with a lot of paint, right? Like,
Not even. The thing is, I think we even came like underprepared because we were just so eager to hit it that we didn't even think like, oh, you know what? Actually, let's go get a lot of paint so we can do the whole floor, like
Right,
some
right.
people did, you know. And I mean, for me, I was like, look, man, it's more about the fact that it's like, yo, it's here. We're here now. We're gonna paint it, and then that's it. Like, I mean, the way that I saw it was like, if I wait to go and get paint and come back in another 2 days, I'm like, this is gonna
Miss
be
the
done.
opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, like the idea that we were here not first, but we're here at the beginning of it was great. I think it was the best thing that we could have done. I mean, if we could have had more paint, yeah, maybe, but we still did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still made it work.
that's amazing.
Because I was sharing paint with my homie. Me and Rydon painted on the same side.
Yeah, you could see that from the Metro mover when you drive
Metro
by.
Move, when you walk in at like downtown to go to the bars and shit where we normally hang out, you can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's a good spot.
yeah.
It's a really
Hey,
good spot.
And that shirt that you made, how did that come about? Like, that looked really cool.
I mean, I just made it because I was like, shit, what the fuck? Like, that's a dope ass spot. And I have a picture of it on a dope ass camera that I took with it, with my phone. You know, you don't normally have that back then. So it's like, if I were to print that picture, I'm pretty sure it's going to look sick. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
That came out awesome.
Yeah, and it was more like I don't know, like, I guess, like,
Honoring the.
because the way as I see it is like, look, the spot can be there and everybody can see it for like a month, right? And then once it's gone, like, it's gone, right? So it's like, if I have a shirt of it, that spot's forever now. Like, as long as that shirt exists, somebody's gonna be like, oh shit, like, this is real graffiti and this is from so and so time, whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know, like, archiving it with other people. It's
For
like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Like, spreading the file. I'm like, oh yeah, here, look.
And we
Go-
spoke,
go-
I'm
go
so
show
sorry,
this.
but we spoke about this. It's like he was saying something that was just like it's gonna be like something from like the dinosaurs, you know. It was like, you know, at one point in time, you know, you're gonna uncover it, and you're gonna see it, you're gonna see his thing, you know. It's
Some
like,
other
you know,
writer's gonna show it to his younger writer homie's gonna be like, yo, check this out, you ain't even gonna believe this. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh shit,
some
you
time
got that?
capsule.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, I think for me, that's like, it's because, like, for example, when I was coming up in this shit, when I started learning about graffiti, people would be like, oh, yo, look, check this out.
Right, right.
You know, and they showed me shit that his 18-year-old, 16-year-old friend made when they were 16 years old. And I'm talking to this 40-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he's excited about this shit. Like, yo, like, look at, like, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's a lot. That's like, yo, like, there's nothing to compare to that. Like, the concept of you being like, yo, like, my friend did this. Or, like, yo, like, my homie did this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it takes a different level when you start collecting things, is what it is. Because for me, that's why I like it. I like collecting things. I like when people give me little shit that's like, that artist didn't even intend to make it as an art piece, but he's like, yo, like, look, he drew this, and like, I want you to have it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, those are cool things that I'm like, yo, those are,
Memento.
to me, yeah, they're mementos and like things that you're gonna use to remind yourself of a time that was crazy.
Mhm.
You know, not even crazy, just the moment in time that it's like, yo, like, you literally were doing anything that you wanted to do, and here you are. Like,
That building
there's a
got
proof.
eyes all over the world. Like,
Oh yeah,
people looking at that shit.
yeah. I
Like,
think if anything, that's probably one of the most viral spots we've ever hit.
yeah.
And just because of that, because it was such a, it was a feat, because it was painted in days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
like there's spots that somebody can hit and maybe nobody even was like, oh, well, let's go paint next to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody does that. And that building was like, people knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that building, I told the homies, like, we gotta hit that because this is gonna be in the, like, it's gonna end up all over the internet. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it did. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that alone was like, yeah, like, we have to do it. So we hit it, and then we ended up going back to that wrestling
back?
match.
Yeah. No way.
And we went back, and they let us in for like $20.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's cool, man.
we talked to the security guard, because at first the lady was like, nah, we're closed. That's it. We're not selling tickets. And then I was like, damn, bro, that's just whack as fuck. We just hit this fire ass spot, bro. I could hear them. You know, they were about. We literally got in for like the last match.
Nice, man.
So we saw the last match. Saw Chick going crazy, music was popping, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good time too. So I was like, look, bro, like, we just painted this shit. We're here, we're having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get arrested. We're all
a great
good.
feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, yo, it's the night's just starting, kind of.
Right, right. No, it's a great
So-
way to start the night, man.
Yep. So it was dope. It was a cool ass. It was an eventful night.
Yeah.
You know.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And you've traveled, so you had friends come here in town to work on that. You traveled around to other locations outside of South Florida to do painting. And
Yeah, I've traveled. You know, I've traveled in the sense where I go places that I don't know and
yeah,
try to meet people.
link up with
Yeah,
other
in like the
artists.
short amount of time, honestly, because sometimes when I travel, it's not like this luxurious traveling. Like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna be here for a month, or you know what I'm saying. Like I don't have friends that have lived there for years or anything like that. It's like when I go somewhere, I don't know anybody, and I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I only have 3 days, so
Right.
so there's not a lot you can do in 3 days, really. You know what
No.
I'm saying? So it's like the little bit that you can do, you know, like why not?
You make it work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess now that I'm more, in a way, established, like, you know, now I have a studio space, I have work to show to people, be like, oh, look, I did this, I did that. Now that I have that, it's kind of like easier to like for me to think, oh, if I go somewhere, like now I can introduce myself, be like, look, I do murals, this is what I've done, and people will get a feel for it just from the fact that I show the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
before, like I didn't have that. I was just like this kid doing graffiti that, you know, just wanted to go to the city to paint his name on a wall, and they say, nah, like, you know, I think about it differently. It's like, no, well, if I want to go there, if I could find an opportunity where I'm able to share my artwork and like be able to, I don't know, in a way, put my stake in there and be like, hey, look, this is what I do, and you know, we can do this shit again. Like the same way that I do an event here with my friends is like I'll try to do the same over there.
Right.
Because it's not like it's gonna change. You know, the feeling is the same. Where I want to put on the people that are already in the area. Like I don't want to go there and be like, yo, I'm the best in your city, and I'm like, and I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like I want to do a show, like introduce myself and be like, look, well, it's gonna be a show that I throw, but everybody else that's in the community can come along and participate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, well, look, this fucking Miami guy is just coming over here trying to get everybody's job or what. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is just
Hang with them.
yeah, become part of their community in that sense. So it's like the same way if they were like, yo, we're gonna throw a party here, like whatever, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll take beers or whatever, you know, I'll take a speaker, like, you know, like that's how I see it. I'm like, that's what I would be, like another piece in their puzzle where I'm like, yo, you can use me to not to your advantage, but to the levels where it's like I can bring something to the table for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not looked at as like, oh shit, like you're just trying to make a quick buck on all of us out here. Like, I'm not trying to do that. Just trying to like become part of your culture. You know, the same way that I've done it here for like the past 12 years. It's like I'm just trying to be a part of it, part of that system, the culture that moves in. Like, oh, we do art, we do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I like that. And well, as far as your relationships here in Miami, like with the Museum of Graffiti, can you talk about your relationship with them and like past shows you've done and things like that?
I guess the relationship with them has been like steadily growing. I would say I wouldn't say that I'm like their best friend or like I know Kev for a long time. Like I just recently met them 3 years ago, the same as everybody did. You know, like when they got here, and it's funny because when they got here, I met Kev first, and he popped up. We were painting the spot on 29th, and he pulls up and he's like, yo, what's up, guys? You know, I'm gonna be opening up a museum soon, blah blah blah. And we're like, oh, for real? That's dope. You know, he's like, yeah, it's down the street. We're gonna be opening it up. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And like at that point, I kind of knew Ket was like an important person, but I didn't really know the depth of what, like, he's legitimately an icon in the graffiti world because he's done so much. Like in the sense that he's worked like magazines and done shit like that, put people on, like put people like write articles about, like that's crazy as fuck. I think that's probably the coolest shit you could do for somebody, and he's done that. And you know what I'm saying? So I think that he's become like an archive of like a bunch of different knowledge of graffiti culture and streetwear, like all that shit. Like he's been there since the get, and I think like that's why I respect Ket, because you know he's been doing it. He doesn't do it just because it sells or whatever. Like he's not like a gallery artist that just suddenly started liking graffiti because now it's popular, you know? Like he was there when nobody liked it, and he did it, and he actually did it. Like it's not like like again, like it's not like some person that's telling you like, oh yeah, I really love graffiti, but never even painted a spot. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually did it.
Yeah.
He's really like something to look at, like up to, like be like, yo, like I really want to be like you. You know?
His achievements and
Yeah,
everything he's done.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, if you can't accept that, or like if you can't say that about somebody, it sucks. Like, I mean, shit. If you're looking up to somebody and you can't think that of them, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know, so. But the relationship with them just kind of expanded on like being here in the area,
Doing your thing.
pulling up to their events. If they do an event, like if I like it, I'll go pull up. You know, I'll go show face and you know, see what they got, like see what they're bringing to their community, and they're really open to like helping out local artists, giving them opportunities, and like, you know, like they just gave me this opportunity for the F1, which I'm like thankful for, and I'm like, yo, like hopefully that goes well, because it's dope. You know, it's dope to see that there's something that my parents thought that wouldn't get me paid is now being that possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, you know, it's kind of hard to imagine like that as a person, like to think, oh yeah, well maybe your paintings will be worth, you know, 5,000 one day. You know, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's like it's possible. You know,
Just keeps going up. The value keeps going up.
Yeah, and I mean, and you have to find that value or give it that value, because it's like, how I feel is like if I were to collect my work, how would I want to feel? Like, you know, would I be like, oh well, this is just this guy that just paints cool? Like, no, like you wanna be able to be like, yo, like this dude's been doing it for a minute. Like, you know, there's some story to it. You know, like, and so I think that's what I try to do with my work, is like the value that it gains is because I'm like really out here doing this shit, painting, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And can you talk about the process on that F1 piece? Like, because it's kind of a mixed thing. Have you done something like that before?
Not collaging like that. I have done like 3D. It's more of like a relief. So it's like I've done that for a piece for them before, for the reduce reuse remix, I think it was called, the show. And that one was all paper with glue, kind of like paper mache.
Oh yeah.
Like, so that project was 3D in a sense. So that was like my first attempt, and it was also through the Museum of Graffiti. And so in this one, it was like an image, but it was kind of tricky because since his story is like pretty it's fucked up, you know, like he got in an accident, his head's like all messed up. I didn't want to put a skull in the painting. Like, I wasn't gonna, like, you know, like give it like a bad notion, or be like, oh, like this dude's a skeleton now, he's dead or whatever. Like, nah, like I wanted to
Honor him.
yeah, exactly, do something where, like, if people don't know who he is, they look at the painting, they'll probably be like, okay, well, he was a family guy, he loved racing, and he was great, and which is reality. Because, and then at the bottom it has a quote. It says, once something's a passion, the motivation is there. So it's like, I feel like that's plain and simple, bro. Like, once you really love something, you're gonna want to do everything and anything to either accomplish or succeed in what it is that you love, you know. Like, so I think that was pretty straightforward, you know. Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you need to have passion for something in order to motivate yourself to continue doing it, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody does the same shit for like 10 years.
Right.
You know, like some people pick something up and like give it up in 2 years just because they couldn't figure out how to do something, you know. Like, that's consistency, you know. You gotta have consistency with your work, and I don't know, like evolving, really, like changing, because like my work is not the same that it was when I first started. I mean, I could make it, but I think it changing and like basically just growing with how I grow, you know. It's like, it's pretty cool to see, you know.
And what about that sign project you did? Can you talk about that and how you got that idea? And that's a totally different kind of thing too.
Project,
The little directional signs and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
And what's the process on that? Is that paper mache or like?
so there was like these little scale signs.
Uh-huh.
Those were wooden.
Oh, okay.
They were wooden signs, and the process for those was like, look, they make little traffic signs. Like, the fuck, I'll paint on one. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Like you've done it in the streets. Like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I had already tagged like multiple signs around, and like I was like, well, you know what? It would be kind of cool so somebody can't really fucking take a whole sign to their house. Like, there's like a small version, you know, like if you really like it. But yeah, and then I was just like, whatever. Like, I got this pack of 10 little signs,
Okay.
and then I was like, all right, well, now I gotta make them look like signs, you know, like paint the bottom silver, make it look like an aluminum pole,
Yeah.
give it a little curb, you know what I'm saying, like, and yeah, and then that's how
Installation,
yeah, and then yeah, just trying to like draw them small, like make it like to scale or whatever, like so that it seems like a real thing. And then yeah, and then just trying to find signs on the street to take a picture of and just like, put my shit on it. Yeah, and then just make it seem like it's part of this little
Cool.
collection kind of thing. And yeah, and it was nice. I liked it. Some people really fuck with it. I have like 4 left, so I think they did well, you know. And they come with like a little certificate of authenticity and stuff like that, you know, just so it's, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, there's only 10, so
Yeah. It's tight.
I think that it's a nice little collectible, you know, because it's like a toy, you know, like that's the way that I see it. I mean, I don't know if you, like, I got hella little trinkets and stuff. I just like it.
Yeah.
So, and that's how that came about. There was really like no, like I saw it and I was like, yeah, I have to do it. Like I'm not gonna just leave it there, not take it.
Yeah, it's cool how you came up with that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, it was just shopping at Goodwill. I walked into Goodwill and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, and I'm like, oh shit, little signs, I'll take it. You know, like I didn't even think about it twice. Cause I was like, yo, like I know that I can for sure like make something out of that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I make some of the stuff that I do. It's just like,
Paintings.
yes, the Sacred Vandalism, the show with all the religious paintings. Like, literally, most of that collection came from Goodwill.
Get out, dude.
Yep.
Repurposed, like.
Yeah, like just religious paintings that I guess like churches would like give away to this Goodwill here. And yo, like honestly, I would walk in, and the thing is, they came out from different locations. Like one came from Salvation Army down south, and the other one was here in Goodwill. One that was in Goodwill down south a little bit.
You sold all those?
I have only 3 left. Three paintings of that series.
They were a hit.
Yeah, people were really fucking with it. I mean, I thought, like, why wouldn't they, you know? Like, I liked it too, because, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure it's been done before in the sense of, like, oh, yeah, you know, like, they've altered the Jesus painting and did whatever. It's like, yeah, I know that's been done, but, like, not in this way. Like, not in the sense where it's, like, for example, it's not in the sense where I'm, like, giving it what I think would look cool in this image, like, you know, like him holding a blunt in a fucking can, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like those things are like, I don't know, it's like you see them and it's like, I feel like in religion you try to reflect that person that's in that image, like you're trying to be like him, where it's like you strive to be as good as this guy that Jesus is, you know. It's like, yeah. I think in my sense I was like, in graffiti we have like a set of rules that we follow the same way there's commandments, you know. It's like we don't really question who or what made them. We're just like, yeah, you know, we know that you don't do that, you know. It's like, why do we do that to ourselves? Like, why do we follow those rules? Like, well, because that's how it is, right? Like, there's no way to explain it, but it's like a religion almost, like a thing where it's like, if you don't understand it, like, you wouldn't get it, but if you were to participate in it, then you'd be like, oh, I get it. You know,
that's cool.
And yeah.
Did you get any like blowback negatively about it, like from anyone that was like, "What the fuck are you doing to these?"
Oh, nah, man. You know what? And I think it's funny because I feel like I've surrounded myself with like, I don't know. I guess just not religious, super religious people.
But no one's like blasphemy.
Yeah. Nobody was like, yo, you're going to hell for this one. You know, like, which for me, I'm like, man, shit, if I am, fuck it. Like, it doesn't even matter at this point. Like, how much worse can it get than this place that we live in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be any worse. But, nah, I mean, I think, like, even at a moment, I kind of was like, if my mom doesn't say shit, why the fuck would I care why anybody would say shit? Because, I mean, my mom's super religious, but, like, she's 100% into that. I don't know. I never got into it. I never really liked the aspect of what the church is about. I think I understand what they're trying to teach, like believing in yourself, like having confidence in yourself, and really, I mean, I think that the religion itself is a way to like help somebody with their own internal problems to be able to like not be misled into some bullshit, like like make a mistake or do drugs or kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like that religion is that thing that they hold on to. That's like that's your last straw. Like, oh fuck, please Lord, don't let me do this to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. I feel like that's how that works. So in graffiti, it's the same thing. It's like you paint to like kind of feel relieved a little bit. Some people do it because they like how it makes them feel. Like I do it because I like it. I like the idea of like sneaking around, going around the back, jumping a fence to get to a spot. It's like I like that. There's there's really nothing you can do other than commit a crime to get the same feeling, which is adrenaline, right? So it's like that's why people throw themselves off buildings with paragliding or whatever the fuck that shit's called, parachuting. It's for that feeling. And then
Rush. There's a rush.
yeah, and then again, it's like if you're painting with your friends, it's fun too. Like you're with your homie, you guys have a good time. And if all goes well, like it's perfect. That's the best mission. Like, and then you just hope to do it again someday. Like who knows, bro? Like sometimes we don't know when your last spot's gonna be. Like you're gonna paint a spot, and then after that, maybe you don't fucking ever go back to it. And so, but I guess at that point, I would just say, well, at least I did it. You know what I'm saying?
That's well said, man. And I forgot to mention or ask you about Miami Vice Collective. Can you just talk a little bit about what that's all about?
Yeah. The Miami Vice Collective it's like I guess a place that I'm trying to create for artists, young and old. You know what I'm saying? Like a place where it's obviously a studio space, so it's like I use it as a workspace, and there's a office space where you can host meetings or like talk to people or a potential client. Sometimes I know that younger artists don't have the means of having a space to rent, so for me it's like extending that helping hand and being like, yo, like I have a space, you can use it as if it was yours. And I mean, I'm not looking to get paid, because at the end of the day, I'm already getting my own gigs and doing my own things that are working for me and giving me the opportunity to be able to afford this place. So if I'm able to share that with somebody else, and they have their own work, and I'm able to help them out too in the process, like why not? So that's what the collective's about. Just a space for that, for artists that are local to be able to have a space to work in. Really.
Amazing. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And you do art club here sometimes?
Just recently they started doing it here. It was just our second one last night. So, but hopefully, I don't know. Like, hopefully they can find a more stable place that we can all use.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to like use it all the time, but
Yeah.
I feel like being able to provide something more to the people is a little bit better.
It's a good group. It sounds like a good concept for our club too.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. So we'll see where they'll take it. I mean, we'll be there.
Very cool,
we'll
man.
be supporting. So
Love it. And man, can you talk about anything coming up? Any projects or anything you want to plug? Like,
I mean, I guess I could say that I'm trying to take my artwork into a different direction, into a direction where I haven't really explored much, that I just recently started doing, that I'm like trying to, I don't know, find like, so that I don't have to paint a skull all the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find that next thing, like, okay, what else is there? Like, what else can I do that's like not just me painting on a flat canvas, like I want to go up, like 3D model, like maybe at one point do like a sculpture for a park or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that I'm kind of like aiming for. Nothing, yeah, like nothing like super solid yet, but I think that's what I want to strive for, is like to be able to put my stuff in a public setting, so there's like seen by kids and adults and everybody in between, like but yeah, I mean, and then like with my work, that's where I'm trying to get to is like just dabbling in like sculptures and things like that. But yeah, hopefully through that, like all the experiments and trials that I do, like hopefully I'm able to like secure a little show at the museum and be able to like, you know, what do you call it? Exhibit them, like, you know, have a little exhibition for these pieces. But that's mostly what I'm doing now, you know? Yeah.
Man, Weirdo, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today and hang out. And we look forward to seeing your next moves, man.
Okay, it's dope. Oh yeah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Steve.